Hey guys, Mr. Tolly here. No laundry today. Pretty amazing. This is the Rossi Wizard, and I'm going to install a scope on it. I took the Simmons 8-point off of my AR. It was more scope than I needed for an AR. I did put an NC Star 4-power scope on it, so we'll be getting to that and doing some reviews on that later. This is about the Rossi. These scopes can be had for about 50 bucks, so they're not terribly expensive, and we'll see how it does. Remember, this is going to be a budget target rifle, and most of our time is going to be spent working up a load for it. But the mounts that I'm using are, I believe, NC Star, but they're not marked. First thing I did is I have the barrel chucked into my vise here with some leather padding so it's not going to mar the barrel. I set a level across the rail here, centered as well as I could, and too far. There we go. So we're centered on the level. Take that off. Slip our rings on. This is just a set of Weaver type rings. They're a 4-screw design, so the caps have 4 screws on each cap. When I install a scope, I like to have the rings as far apart as I can. Some people say get them closer, some farther. I like them farther apart because I think it keeps my optics straighter. Purely my opinion. And just finger tighten that for the time being. I'm going to wiggle it a little bit too to make sure it's centered in there. Now I'm going to snug them up. And you don't want them super tight. So I'm going to snug them this way. Let them rest for a second or two. Go a little more. And you want to get it, I'd say, right around 20 foot-pounds. No Loctite should be needed. I kind of developed a feel for roughly what I'm going for. My torque wrench doesn't go down that low. That feels pretty good. I'm going to kind of guess with the scope. But one thing about this is now I'm not going to be able to get to the hammer real well to cock the hammer for my single shot. Rossi thought of that. So they included a hammer extension that extends the hammer out to the side. And we basically just slip that on. It's got 2 set screws on here. And they already have Loctite on them and stuff, so I don't even have to do that. And I've seen some of these kind of extensions that are pretty sloppy. This actually fits really nice. I think Rossi really thought about this rifle. So we're putting the hammer extension on, and it's high enough that it's not going to be in the way to release the barrel, but I'll still be able to cock it when the scope is on. I'll still be able, it's off to the side a little bit, so I'll be able to cock it. So I'm going to kind of guess where I need this scope. My cheek sits about here. The scope's got about a 2.5 inch eye relief. So I'm kind of guessing that I need to be right about here. Take these caps off. Now I'm just going to set I'm going to double check my rifle to make sure it's level, because this is the time to get that last check in. Okay, we're good. Wrong wrench. Weaver makes a really good system for setting up your scope rings and centering everything. I don't own it. I probably will be getting one sooner or later, because I pretty much put a scope on all my rifles now. Now these are just, barely even snugged up right now, because I still have to level the scope. One more screw to find here. When I'm dealing with a 4-screw ring, I'll tighten opposite corners. So I can see that I'm way off. I'm just setting this on top of the cap. And we'll rotate it, and I'm holding it flat. Now, as I'm tightening it, I want to keep an eye on that, because it's going to move. I'm just going about 1/8 of a turn to tighten each one. just using that cross pattern. So far we're staying. Now, I haven't ever had a problem with the scope loosening up on me the way I do it, and I've never had the Loctite one, so. Alrighty, we're going to go for our final little snug down. And you never want to tighten these too much because they will have a tendency to wreck the tube of your scope. So I'm not getting too crazy with it. Our level stayed. So let's get it out of the vise, shoulder it. I couldn't have asked for better. So there you go. That's our simple scope installation. Now if anything needs to be changed, if I found out, you know, it's perfect the way it is, so I've guessed everything pretty good. If I needed to, you know, move back or forth, I could loosen everything up again after I leveled it using the scope to level it, because it stayed level. And really that's all there is to it. My scope's installed. Now all I need is a trip to the range to sight it in. So that's going to be it for this one. Stay safe, God bless, and we'll catch you in the next video.